Hello! This is cutie number 3. I'm going to do the review for One Piece chapter 687, but first let me send my condolences to everyone on the East Coast who have been devastated by the Hurricane Sandy, including me. Every place is closed today. Dry cleaners is closed. Food places are closed. Everywhere is closed. So we're going to have to improvise today with my costume. I was anticipating wearing my Yoruichi costume, but anything will do right now. So let's get started on One Piece 687. First page, we see that Caribou, who was saved by his crew, is now taking the ship and gone. Which is not surprising. I mean, but they're going to catch up to him, and then he's going to suffer an even worse punishment at the hands of his own crew. I think that's where the plot is going in this short story. Or they're gonna just be dimwits and just forgive him, like a lot of dimwits are with these lower pirate crews. Zoro versus Monet plus Tashigi. First page, we see that the G5 Marines are making a run for it, and with Sanji by their side. Sanji is only doing this because it's Tashigi's crew, and he's helping Tashigi, which they didn't realize yet. So when they asked him, why didn't you protect us when Monet attacked us? And Sanji's like, it was a girl who attacked you. I don't kick girls. First of all, the reason why I saved you is because of a girl. They asked him, what if you'll die? Would you resist from hurting a girl even if you're gonna die? He's like, yeah. One of these days that is gonna come to bite Sanji in the ass. But let's wait until then. Anyway, they're running forward. They're gonna save the kids. Sanji's just doing it for admiration. I think if there were no females in the crew and Sanji had the same personality, everyone would be screwed because he'd be a dead weight, even if he has an ambition, which is all blue. Zoro and Tashigi are left alone. Isn't that odd? So Tashigi is sassing Zoro. Zoro's sassing back. He's telling her to get out of the way because his mission is just to stall Monet. He's not out to hurt her. I really didn't think Zoro was as chivalrous because in the past he has fought women and he has cut them. So this new chivalry, or I think it's more of just a I'm so powerful that I'm not gonna lift a finger. That's pretty much the Mihawk style that he's taken on, you know, or he's taken a bit of chivalry from Sanji, which is near impossible. So I think it's just that he's taken Mihawk style, and he's such a top-ranked fighter that he just doesn't have time or doesn't have the heart to mercilessly slaughter these lesser fighters. Tashigi is figuring that out, and to take on that advantage, Monet is moving in on Tashigi. So their fight is starting, and Zoro seems to be enjoying the fight, enjoying seeing how Tashigi fights. It's obvious that Tashigi is not near the level that Zoro is on. I really didn't even think about this because last week I was so disappointed that Zoro was seemingly not possessing the color of arms haki. It seemed that way for a second, but okay, now we see that he is just too powerful to even deal with this woman using full power, or even using half power, because I think full power would be one of his techniques on top of haki. Now she would just be slaughtered, but he's so merciful, he just doesn't want to do that. He just doesn't feel it's necessary. Monet, you should be on your knees thanking God. Monet takes on Tashigi, and It's really sad. Tashigi is hanging in there, but Monet is more powerful than Tashigi. This is off topic, but all of this makes me wonder where Kobe is in power level now. We know that Kobe is a fast learner, but I'm just wondering where he is in terms of power level. I know he's always close to Luffy. Well, not always, but I think next time we see him, he'll be a little bit closer to Luffy because he seems to be a person that learns quickly and that moves up quickly. But the fact that Tashigi is so, I wouldn't say weak, but she's so under par. Because if you look at it, Monet is right in the middle. Zoro can easily beat Monet. Easily. And Tashigi can hardly do it. So when you look at that range, it's really surprising. And that shows you that Zoro is #1 on Vice Admiral level. And it shows you that, well, we know Luffy is just about looking like these two fingers. This is Zoro, this is Luffy. Luffy is slightly above Zoro. So Luffy is slightly above Vice Admiral level. Something like where Trafalgar is, because Trafalgar easily beats Smoker. I mean, he's possibly more stronger than Trafalgar. So we know that Luffy is very close to Admiral level. Very, very, very close. So it really, this is the chapter that shows you where the power is, where they are in growth. Even though Zoro didn't lift a finger, we can tell from that where he is on the spectrum, and we know Luffy is always slight above him. Some people may disagree, but I think so, that Luffy is just slightly more gifted than Zoro. I mean, he's the captain. First mate can be like this, but they can't be the most powerful. So let's move on. Monet is pawning Tashigi. Tashigi is able to repel the snow rabbits, snow bunnies with Soru, and Monet is still pawning her. She's just not doing that good. And Monet bites into her shoulder. Tashigi knows enough to not let go of Monet because she doesn't want her shoulder to be bitten off. She remembers what happened to her teammate. And I guess she has a good bit of stamina. She pushes away Monet and she has a slice along her face. Zoro is just like, look, you know, if I wanted to kill you, you'd be dead. It's just, he's just like teasing her, like, don't hurt my girl. I'm letting her perform, but you know, don't hurt her. Because we know Zoro has a little, you know, he has for Tashigi. Monet backs off, and Tashigi was really pawned. I'm surprised. I thought Tashigi would have been showing her stuff and stretching her arms, and this really makes me worry about Kobe. I'm hoping that the next time we see Kobe that he'll present a challenge to Luffy. But the last time we saw him, I think he was on level with Tashigi. So even if he grew at double the rate of Tashigi, he'd still be under Zoro and hence under Luffy, is my opinion. Even if he grew at double Tashigi's level, he'd be at Monet's level at best. That's what I'm thinking. So we'll have to see. Zoro is just pulling his sword, and Zoro compares himself to a wild animal. Pretty badass, okay? He made up for all the unbadassness of the last chapter. Monet's body is just not moving. She's just shaking right now, and Zoro is just moving in on her, and she's terrified. It's sort of like Soul Force. And I feel bad for Monet. Zoro's killing intent alone, or just his haki, is just terrifying her. Something like Shanks' haki. Um, or maybe it's just his killing intent, because I know Luffy has King's haki, but does Zoro have it? I'm not sure. Maybe, maybe not. But if it was Luffy's haki, if he did use haki on Monet, I think she would have just fainted or shivered so much that she just couldn't move, which is probably the same effect that Zoro has on her. He slices her in half, and not with haki, of course. He didn't kill her. I don't think he intended to kill her. And she is just in so much shock. It's like Usopp Hammer on Perona. And Tashigi is kind of pissed. It's almost like she is Kuina. Maybe Faith just sent a girl that's exactly the same his way. But she resembles Kuina in attitude, in looks, personality, every way possible. Anyway, great chapter. Zoro flaunting his powers here. He's not even trying, and he's just injuring Monet with the least bit of effort, which shows the powerful gap between not only him and Monet, but him and Tashigi, because Tashigi also fought against Monet. So I guess this chapter was Oda just giving us a hint as to where the crew is in terms of power level. We get to see how effortlessly Zoro did Monet in. So really, he's worlds away from Tashigi because he used very little effort. He took Monet down without using haki. So that means if he were to use haki, he would have used even less effort in an attempt not to actually kill her. So this chapter we got to see the power gap. It's a major power gap. We can measure it with Trafficker versus Smoker, and we can measure it with Zoro, as in where Zoro is in the spectrum, with Zoro versus Monet. And Tashigi is way below, not way below, but below Monet in ability. And I am so grateful, Oda. Thank you for making this an exciting chapter. This is Cutie number 3. Maybe next week I'll be reviewing Bleach. I still haven't caught up yet, but things are getting good. And like I said before, I dropped off of Bleach when things got very slow. So I'm looking forward to catching up, and I'll see you next week.